Andre, what does a day of training set up? What does it look like for you? What do you go through?
It's a lot of pain every day. I mean, I have days where, I'll do, some type of, cardio in the morning, sprint, distance running, go back to training camp, get some rest, eat, and then we come to the gym, we'll spar, we'll hit the heavy bag. It's really a monotonous process, when you're in training camp, and that's pretty much every day. And of course, we take days off, and there's times you got to rest the body and be smart. But it's really the same thing every day.
So even as you get closer to the fight, there'll be no changes?
No, I mean, it's as you get closer, you start to pull back a little bit, so you don't overtrain. But that's normally the week of the fight. So up until, the Saturday before the fight, we're full steam ahead. We're going 100 miles an hour.
And the addition of Clarissa Shields.
I'm excited about that.
Talk about that. She calls you her idol.
I mean, first I'm honored for her to say that, and I just admire obviously her story and where she's come from, but she's amazing in the ring. She's the real deal, and I watch her, I pick up things from her, and I mean, for her to have 2 gold medals is amazing. And now for her to get the opportunity to fight her pro debut on HBO, which I was fortunate enough to do, is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I think it's a perfect situation for herself as well as for women's boxing, because I don't think women's boxing gets really any type of attention. Those that know certain women and certain fighters, they'll support and do the best they can to get their name out there. But as a whole, I think we could do a better job, because they do play a part. They come in here. We have women come in our gym. They work just as hard as we do. They take the same risk we take. They just don't get the notoriety or sponsorships or the money that we get, and it's unfortunate.
When you're fighting a puncher, do you change anything in camp, or is it the same?
No, it's all. I mean, obviously, depending on who you fight, you have different game plans, nuances, different things you're working on. But I mean, we respect, every fighter that we fight. We don't get. I mean, I'm talking me and my team. We don't get caught up in the whole puncher thing. Anybody can get you out of it if you get hit right. So I don't think I'd be sitting here in this position right now if I had these highs and lows. This guy's a puncher, oh my God, versus this. And we got to find a way to get it done, and we're going to find a way to get it done. I don't care what he's got in his gloves, who he's knocked out, or what he's done. My job is to get my hand raised, and that's what we're focused on.
And how was it having Shakur Stevenson in your gym recently?
It's beautiful, man. It's having young guys like that around start to make me feel a little old. Because I used to be that guy in Roy's camp, in Floyd's camp, hanging around Bernard, and you see yourself. So it's a little weird, because you're like, man, I'm the OG. That's kind of crazy, but it's also a beautiful thing because, we need more of that. We need champions and top contenders, just fighters in general, man, to open up the door and allow these young guys on the way up just to show them how it's going to be. How about the video? Yeah, I mean, we typically, we go through our process together. If I feel like I need to go look at something on my own, I'll do that. He watches a lot more film than I do. I mean, he's up 3, 4 in the morning watching film. As I've gotten older, I watch less film because I don't need to see 10 fights to see tendencies and see certain things. Maybe 2 fights that I need to watch. This type of style versus that type of style. And I know what I need to see, and then I can go back and watch around here, around there. But I try to leave room for my instincts, man, because I'm very instinctual. You got to be able to pick on the fly, fighting at the highest level. And I leave room for that. It's not a checklist that you got to go down, because you can't get into a ring thinking like that. I just believe that who I am and what I have is enough. And that's what I'm standing for.
Or with T1, when it's on with Lloyd Visuals, would you like to fight Adonis Stevenson?
Man, I'm not even interested in Adonis Stevenson right now. Obviously, he's not my next opponent. And, you got to ask Al if he can come out and play. I don't even know if he's available to fight. I'm just keeping it real with you. They got their own thing going on, but that's not even somebody I'm interested in talking about.
Are you thinking about promoting?
At least not right now.
About pay-per-view, your first pay-per-view fight, you looked up to Roy. He was kind of like the king of pay-per-view. I remember just to get excited. How does it feel to have your pay-per-view fight?
Beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. I'm excited. What better time than now at this stage of my career? Just excited to continue to prepare so I can go and do my part to give the fans their money's worth. Those that pay to be there and those that are paying to watch it. So that's what I'm focused on. But I'm extremely happy to be part of my first pay-per-view.
How many more fights you think you have to the left and you can retire?
That's a tough one, man. But it's just, I think I'm a no. I think I'm a no. But I tell you this, you can quote me on this. I know you've heard it before. Will not be fighting at 40 years old. Hopefully nowhere close to it. So just put that down. And if I am, which I hope I'm not, please replay this for me. Tell me that I lied to you.
So Dre, Bernard announced his final fight. Can you kind of give us your thoughts on his career and call it quits?
Man, I wish him nothing but the best.
Having a fellow light heavyweight and Andres Fanfare just joined the Virgil Hunter stable, what's that like having that kind of camaraderie and another light heavyweight to work with?
That's good. It's good. Good fighter, top contender.
You guys spar?
Good little something. It's good. Verge came from the school of where you smart to have a good amount of fighters in the stable in the same weight class. That way you don't have to go look for sparring. I mean, that's how it used to be back in the day. You have a trainer that would train, light heavyweight, super middleweight, and middleweight. But they all get work. You don't have to go, outsourcing for work. So that's the school that he comes from. So, naturally you don't like guys around you that are even remotely, at least me, that are in my weight class. It's a thing with fighters. But he and I will never fight. So, I'm happy to have him on board, and I'm looking forward to him bouncing back and doing great things.
Do you feel comfortable at this weight? Do you feel stronger, faster?
Not better. 3 weeks out, if not, I got some problems.
After the brand fight, you had said that you felt the Kovalev fight was a 50-50 fight. Do you still feel that way? Or
Yeah, I have to feel that way. That's how I approach all my big fights. I don't go into the fight in my mind thinking, I got a clear-cut advantage here and I'm going to run through this guy. Personally, for me, I can't roll like that. I got to keep myself honest. We just talked about, the grind and the process every day. Many days you get up and don't want to be in here, and that's what keeps me going at the level that I need to go at on a day-to-day basis, just understanding that this man is working, and everything that I feel, the passion that I feel, the hunger that I feel to get these belts and to beat him, that dude is feeling the same way, if not more. So that just keeps me on my grind and keeps my head down where I force myself to keep working. And if it's anything less than that, that's a bonus. But I truly believe that he's everything that they say he is. And, I'm everything that I've shown over the years. And I feel will even show more, in a fight like this, of this magnitude.
We seen your age.
I think he's good at it. I mean, he's a champion. He's a champion. I'm not going to, crown him the best fighter in the world, but he's a good fighter. He's a champion. I have to respect that. He's defended his title many years, and none of those defenses will come. So, yeah.
Is there anything other than Kovalev power that concerns you?
Anything other than his power?
Yeah.
Not winning is a big concern. Not getting my hand raised is a big concern.
Hey, we seen your HBO special, and we heard your story. Is anything that you would like to say about other kids that come along with the same story as you, that are trying to box or trying to play basketball or baseball or, whatever the case is?
That's really the reason I talked about a lot of that stuff, to be honest with you. I never really talked about, some of the things I came from and some of the struggles my parents had. I did that intentionally because, I didn't want my story to be, kind of burned up in a year or two. Oh, another guy from the ghetto. I've studied the sport long before I became a professional, and I knew how that kind of thing worked. And I always wanted to respect my mom and respect my dad because they were more than just addicts. They bounced back. They've done a lot of great things in life. But I know that would be the selling point, so I never wanted to talk about it. But then I started getting to a place where, I started to feel discontent, from the standpoint of like, man, kids and fans and supporters, they see me here, and they can't always relate because they think you've always been here. And, it's just important, at this point in time in my career, just to stop and say, listen, this is what I came from. This didn't define me. This really refined me and got me to the place where I am. But let me tell you about my story, and hopefully, like you said, I hope it does encourage somebody because, those are tough situations, man, and it's a miracle that I'm sitting here talking to you guys right now, coming from what I came from. So I hope it does inspire somebody, and I hope it does encourage somebody.
Do you purposely tune out all the hype and garbage talk and all the stuff that goes on around you as much as you can?
I mean, it's old. I've been in this game a long time. And don't get me wrong, I can talk smack with the best of them. It's not that I don't have anything to say. It's just that I come from an old school mentality. You know what I'm saying? And it's more about action with me. I feel like I say what I need to say when I need to say it. And, because I don't do a lot of talking, I feel like when I do speak, maybe you guys want to listen. But if I'm on every website every week saying the same thing over and over, it starts to get a little mundane. You know what I mean? So I just try to speak when I need to speak and make sure that when I say something, it's meaningful. And then go try to back it up. Because it's in the boxing right now, it's a lot of talk. It's a lot of people trying to be Floyd, and I get it. He's a big, inspiration to a lot of young guys coming up. But it's more talk. It's a lot of. We call it bump and gums where I come from. But not a lot of action. And then when a guy doesn't perform and do what he said he was going to do, nobody calls him out on it. And then he goes, he makes an excuse for it, and he starts talking again. But I just try to keep it simple. I'm about action.
What about Kovalev seemingly being annoyed that you didn't acknowledge him at the press conference? With it being, what happened there? Tell me, was there anything?
He got to work that out within himself. I can't speak on how him getting emotional or feeling some type of way about anything. I don't have to do anything. We're not cool. He's preparing right now to try to hurt me, and I'm preparing to not let that happen. So. There's nothing to talk about. Why shake hands for what?
You mean he might be in his head a little bit?
I don't know. I don't know. I really honestly don't think about it that much. I don't. And really, I don't know if that was him that made the comment or his coach that made the comment, but they're used to guys paying homage and giving him too much respect before the fight. And we don't get down like that.
How do you feel about John David Jackson's trainer admitting that he may have underestimated you now that he started watching you actually?
I'm really not. To be honest with you, like I give John David the respect for his career. I think he was a champion, right?
Yeah.
IBF?
Yeah.
Okay. IBF champion. I respect that, and I pay homage to that. But in terms of I'm not paying attention to John David Jackson. I get wind of what he's saying. I get the overflow. I got my ear to what's going on. But come on, man. You got to do way better than that if you think that anything you're saying is going to get in our head or have us worried or preparing any differently. Like, he's really spinning his wheels. He's wasting his time. It's literally impossible for him to say anything to get into our heads. But see, what happens is you talk so much that you start to show your hand. And he's been over here, he's been back over here, back over there, and we just sit back and we just watch it. Okay. So this week is this, that week is that. But what he doesn't realize is that he's being used and manipulated. Any writer, any website, any radio station that calls him, he starts talking. And him being a former fighter should know better than that. He should know better than that. So I just sit back and I watch and I observe. Now, as far as him trying to, come on, man. First Kovalev was gonna kill us. Ward made a mistake to sign him. Then he's better than I thought. Come on, man. You gotta do better than that. You have to.
Yeah.
So that's my message to him. If I have any message, you have to do better.
At this level of boxing, what does it take to win a fight like of this magnitude? You think it takes more skill level, strategy, athleticism, blah 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 blah? Like what you think it really takes coming from Andre Ward and your experiences?
It's gonna take everything. You know, it takes a little bit of everything. It's so much, as you know, because you fight. There's so much that goes on in the boxing ring that people don't even know.
I'm a reporter today.
I got you.
You cleaned up.
There's so much that goes on in the boxing ring that people don't know. It's not just one thing. It's a million things going on. There's ebbs and flows going on. It's gonna boil down to, who wants it more. It's gonna boil down to who's executing the game plan under pressure. It's gonna boil down to who's in the best shape. It's gonna boil down to a lot of things.
Agreed.
Yeah, to a lot of things. I can't point out one thing or two things. It's gonna be a lot that boils down to getting this fight won, and I just feel like that I want it more. That's just my opinion, and I'm sure he feels the same way. So I'm gonna be ready.
Hey, Andre, you talked about that young guy's the young guy you used to be. Does it teach your body and have occasions reminding you that you're not playing sometimes? How do you deal with that?
I just try to, I try to get the best people around me. I try to, do what I can do. I try to do what I can do from just take care of myself. Whether it's diet, whether it's rehab, whether it's, the latest technology, whatever it is.
You train fundamentally differently than you did 10, 12 years ago?
I mean, my coach, he's constantly trying to, 32, I'm like, man, I know it's 32, but I let me go. He's constantly trying to get me to train smart. But you also understand I'm going to be, understand that I'm going to be weak. That means that I'm going 100 miles. So, the thing
Maybe
is,
you should be going 9?
but I mean, that's why I have him. Sometimes I don't listen, but most times I do. When hey man, around, hey, get in, get out. We need to be here no more than 90 minutes. Whatever he's telling me, I'm trying to listen because I don't want to act like I can't do it. I want to walk away on my own time, and I do have to be smart.
Can you cleaned out the middleweight division. You seem like some boxing fans who don't really get the proper respect just due. Do you think a win over Sergey will validate how great you are in boxing?
It's tough, man. It's tough. Not that I don't care, but I stopped trying to figure it out, man. Like, I understand the dynamics of the sport. I feel like I got a good grip on why certain things are done and said and why certain things aren't. But, at the end of the day, man, God has blessed me with the talent. First and foremost, as long as I get the sense that I'm giving him everything that I have and he's pleased, that's first and foremost. And I got a wife and kids that my job is to get in that ring and get home to them. Then I got my team. And then you got everybody outside of that. And I understand I can't control these opinions. So I know what I've accomplished. I'm secure. I know what I did. I know what I've accomplished. And I know what I'm still trying to accomplish. So to answer the question specifically, maybe not. But whether they do or they don't, it's going to be all right. I'm going to be fine. No hard feelings. It's all good. I got to keep moving. But don't get me wrong, though. Sometimes we focus on what we're not getting in, but I do get a lot of time. I get a lot of people, even though it may not always be highlights, that are fair, objective, give me my just due, and I appreciate it. I'm not asking for nothing that I don't deserve. Just any athlete wants just their just due, what I've accomplished. But it doesn't just happen to me; it happens to a lot of fighters. So that's part of the game. You want to sign up for this, you got to deal with it. So I just try to deal with it the right way and keep it moving.
How is it working with a Mackie Shieldstone?
It was good.
I didn't know if I was supposed to be asking that, but
No, Mackie's a great guy. I mean, I've been working with Mackie for a while. You guys just didn't know it. But very brilliant mind in the sport. He understands the body. Just really smart dude, man. And he got a proven track record. So why not, have him on board for something like this?
We're gonna do 2 more questions.
Warren, last year, after the Paul Smith knockout, you said that your arsenal starts to open up the more frequently you fought. You got 2 in this year, going for your 3rd. How's the activity? Just being able to fight.
I think it's gonna be a problem, man. Give me 3 fights this year. It's gonna be a problem. And you feel it,
Get that rhythm.
It's just certain things you do, like, wow, man, I ain't even think about that. There's certain things you do without even thinking, just from the repetition. And this is, like I said, this is number 3. I've been in the gym all year. So this camp, we've had to really be careful to not go to the other side and do too much. Because I came in sharp and I came in aggressive. So definitely feel the difference. Definitely.
Here and then there, and then we go.
Are you disappointed that you can't do this fight here in Oakland, or do you think that a fight of this magnitude deserves to be in Vegas?
Nah, Vegas for sure. Vegas for sure. Yeah. I think that's the perfect place. I mean, it's
Not a lot of people go out there that smoke and try.
Nah, I've been there. I've trained there before. I know what you mean. It's November, man. It's not going to be too dry. But again, we fight in the same second. I can't really decide that. I'm working with him. I gotta push him aside.
You expect a lot of fast promotion to go out?
It's a pay-per-view fight. Are you coming out with anybody?
Guys, we're gonna come to her and then we're gonna wrap.
Still thinking about it.
Andre, to piggyback off of what Hugo said, regarding the momentum situation, I talked to you last time after the brand fight, and I just complimented you on how good your defense looked, and we had a little chuckle off that. And I just want to know if that, momentum is still there. If you feel like your defense is still just razor sharp, and if you're continuing that momentum.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I'm never fully satisfied with what I'm doing in the gym. It's always something. Trust me. Even days that I call my wife, she's like, "How'd you look today?" I'm like, she's like, "When are you gonna call and say you had a great day?" I don't know. That's just me. That's just how I feel. I just always feel like it's something else I need to be working on. But as a whole, honestly, I'm happy. Seeing everything coming, and it's easier to defend against certain shots that I'm landing that maybe I wasn't landing last year or early this year. So yeah, I think it's.
You said we'll take a couple more.
How about another boxer? This is the second boxer fight in the T-Mobile arena. I've always wanted to be in that arena. I bet you probably did. Does you feel some sort of way, like brand new, Las Vegas?
I mean, I'm excited about it. Honestly, I did want to fight the old engineer. I do want to fight the old engineer at some point. But of course, it's a new arena. It's a new challenge. It's hard to But like I said, I'm old school, man. Like, I've been in so many fights in that arena. I'm going to taste that in. I want to see that fight.
That dry hair?
Andre, the night before a mega fight, how do you feel? Do you sleep? A lot of athletes wake up in the morning nervous.
I'm just ready. I have a sense of readiness. That's why these periods, 8-10 weeks before a fight, this is why this is important, because if I cut any corners or if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, that's when you're going to be reminded about that week of the fight, the day before the fight, the day before the fight. I shouldn't ran 6 miles, I only ran 3.
Can you sleep?
I sleep. But it's like you go to work. You're talking about the same guy for 2 months, training and paying for the same person for 2 months. It's like enough of him. I'm ready to fight him. I'm ready to do it over. So it's just a sense of readiness and just ready to go. And no going.
In your absence, you were the most criticized boxer in the sport of boxing. Now you're the most talked about fighter in the sport of boxing. Is that a good feeling, or is it kind of bittersweet going through what you went through in those times?
It's just interesting. It's just interesting. Tell you what, man, it makes you grow up. It teaches you a lot. going through. It's lifelong lessons that I've gotten just in the last 2.5 years that I wouldn't have gotten if everything was going my way. If everybody spoke well about me. It's brought me closer to God. It's strengthened my faith. And what they don't realize is they make a monster out of it. Not necessarily on the public side, but in this ring. They create something. They don't realize that. They're part of the process of making you who you are. And so I don't resist it no more. I don't say nothing about it unless I feel like I need to. I can really do what they do. But they put you in a situation where your back is always against the wall, and they don't understand the mindset that creates a monster. But when you get in the ring, that poor guy you fight, he don't realize that you were never given that. You were never handed anything. You were never really anybody's pick, with the exception of a few. So that's a different mentality in fighting. I hit him with a good punch. It means nothing because I can't lose tonight. They won't give me a pass. They won't make an excuse for it. So I embrace it, man. And more important to me than rather than criticizing or not, is how do you respond, right? That's my challenge. Is how do I respond in private, and then how do I respond in public? Because those young fighters are not only watching what I'm doing in the gym, they're watching and listening to this right here. They're looking at these videos. Because they're going to face a lot of the things that I'm facing. When they first start out, it's going to be kumbaya. When they get midway through their career, stuff starts happening, they're going to start seeing things shift and change, unfortunately. Now you start to develop character. How are you going to respond to that? So I embrace it, man. It's part of my story. It's part of what I got to go through. I'm not the first fighter to go through it, and I certainly won't be the last. I just want to make sure that when people look back, in my career, they can see the responses. They're not always the right responses, but hopefully as a whole, see this and they handle that pretty good. And I just give credit to God for that, man. The people I have around me. I get a lot of advice from my core circle. My wife, I vent to her and talk to her about this stuff. Because at the end of the day, man, you got to suck it up. And you got to face the camera and you got to respond the right way. Because it ain't always going to go your way. People not always going to say nice things about you. How do you respond? That's the key.